Hi, welcome to That Cave. Today we're going to be doing our very first board game review. As you can see around, we love our board games, but this one's a really special one that me and my son really got into, and we can do it as a family. So, since he chose this one, he'll be here today as our special guest. Say hi.
Hi.
Great. So, let's get stuck into it. So, the premise of the game is we're trying to build a little town called Machi Koro, and as we go through building town, we build different establishments on our turn as we get the coins and the money to do it, and lastly get big landmarks for the town as well. Once you build 3 landmarks, you win. So as you go through, start collecting different establishments and whatnot and playing against each other, you start building coins or start taking coins from each other as well. So it's a pretty fun interactive game and definitely recommend. First, for the initial setup, you set up your board like this, where you have your level 1 to 6 establishments, 7 to 12 establishments in the second row, and finally the different landmarks. And each player that you have will get 5 coins, and then you have the bank here.
Well,
and each
5 and 1 coin.
Yes, that's correct. So there's different types of coins. There's a 1, 5, and 10 coins that you collect throughout the game, and each player will have their player cards here that kind of talk through the different steps of the game, and also because there's different abilities that happen as well, what order you do them in as well, and also the probability that the dice come in. I forgot to mention, when you're setting up and you get duplicates of the same cards, as you can see here, we have 2 flower gardens. You actually stack them on top of each other. So every single time the players will have 5 unique ones on each row. So you can see on the second row we have 2 mines and 2 hamburger stands. So you'll always have a unique thing to choose from. So now we're all set up. Let's explain the initial rules. So the very first 3 rounds are actually buying rounds, which means there's no rolling of the dice at all. Each player gets 5 coins to shop around to see what kind of establishments they get. So for example, on my first turn I might pick a bakery, so then I have to pay $1 back to the bank. And then you may buy something else, and then we'll go around until there's 3 buy rounds, or we all run out of money. So, how do you play the game? It's quite simple. You can either choose to roll 1 or 2 dice on your turn after the 3 mandatory buy rounds. And as you roll, you'll see I just rolled a 7. And if you own any of these cards that have a 7, you get the actual ability that is on the bottom. So right now there's no 7s out there, but for example, if you get a 2 and you have a bakery, you read the action down the bottom and get 2 coins from the bank. So that's pretty easy, and you keep going around until we find the winner. Isaiah, how do you win the game?
By getting 3 landmarks. Here on the TV station, it's $12 for your first, and it's $12 for your first landmark, $16 for your second landmark, and $22 for your third landmark. Depends on what landmark it is. So that's how you win the game.
Yes, perfect. Yes, so the aim is to get 3 landmarks, and on each landmark there are 3 coins, and as Isaiah explained, your first one will cost you $12, second one, if you already have a landmark, will cost you $16, and your last one to win the game will cost you $22. So depending on what landmarks are out here, you need to save up to get there. And how the game gets really interesting is there are different abilities on the different cards. So the blue one is always, if on anyone's turn, for example on this flower garden, get 2 coins from the bank on anyone's turn. So if Isaiah rolls a 4, I get that ability. But then, for example, if I only had the baker, which is a green one, is get 2 coins from the bank, but that's only if I roll it. But then you have all these other ones in here where, for example, the red one is on your opponent's turn, and it's take 2 coins from the active player. So if Isaiah rolls a 3, or I roll a 3, we have to give the other person 2 coins. So it gets really good when there's multiple players in the game. And these aren't the only abilities, but once you see, so for example, you have the business center as well, where on your turn only, if you get a 6, you can exchange establishments with an opponent. And there are other ones in here that help you stack them as well. So let's see how stacking works. So how do combos work and how does stacking work? So they're actually called combos. We have one here. This is the furniture factory. So as you can see, on its own, it doesn't really do much. But if you read the abilities, get 4 coins from the bank for each of these little cog things, establishments that you own. So there is a strategy for you to start owning the same one. So for example, if I had 2 of these mines and an 8 got rolled, I'd get 4 times 2, which is 8. I'd get 8 coins. So it's an easy way to kind of get a lot of coins. So how long does the game go for and who's it suitable for? The game actually goes for probably 45 to 1 hour. So I think that's why the game generally gets recommended for 10-plus-year-olds. But as you can see, my son is well under that. He learned it 2 years ago when he was 4 or 5, and he was able to really pick it up easily. And we have played with friends as well that have kids at that age, and it is a really easy game to pick up. I think the only issue is since it is a long game, I think sometimes I get a bit distracted, but I think if the game keeps going and everybody's involved, I find they don't really get distracted too much.
Now we're gonna play that game.
Alright, let's play. Alright, we're kicking it off. We are running everything at 3 speed, just so then we don't have to watch the first part of the game. So yeah, pretty simple. What we're doing is actually just using our 5 coins that we start off with and doing the 3 mandatory buy rounds. So you see that each of us are going through purchasing something. Isaiah's got his on the little pull-out table, so you can't really see his cards, but I'm showing mine on the table there anyway. So as you can see, as you can get it from the top or bottom row, it doesn't really matter as long as you can afford it. And yeah, so depending on your strategy, you choose different things. So Isaiah's kind of thinking long and hard which one his one is. I believe we're in the 3rd round now, so this is the final buy round. I've got my 3rd card out, and yeah, we're opening it up as we go through and making sure that each one remains unique. So now we're in the first rolling round. Isaiah telling the dice what he wants, and looks like we're rolling donuts at this point. So once again, I'm gonna roll, and looks like neither of us have anything as well. If you actually have no coins, you do pick up a coin. If you don't decide to build, it just helps the game keep going. And here we are getting some coins because it rolled a certain number. So that's what we're doing. We're just rolling, and we pick up coins as you go. More or less, we keep doing this until someone has enough to buy a landmark, and then once you have enough to buy 3 landmarks, you actually end up just winning the game. Generally, it's the way that things keep going, and it's very much a game of luck where it depends on how the dice roll. So you do have the option to roll 1 or 2 dice. So depending on how many dice you roll really depends on your strategy. I've seen this game win with people only winning 1, people winning 2, so good thing is I think different strategies can win the game. So now you kind of see how we started the game. It's going to take a while here, so we'll probably leave it here. We love the game, definitely recommend. Let me know if you have any questions or anything about the rules or whatnot. But yeah, leave a comment, but till next time, cheers.
Bye!
Bye!